6 years ago, the Voids launched a massive attack at the third assault garden. The sky was flooded with Voids. Humans were utilizing all their resources to fend them off, and the non-combatants were forced to take shelter underground. Ryslia and Regina are also among these miserable people. At that time, Regina had not awakened her holy sword, and all they could do was hide. Both of them were really scared by all that cannon fire. Ryslia reassures Regina that everything will be fine since her father is the one commanding the front lines and hasn't lost a single battle. Regina is still scared as they have never witnessed anything like this before. Ryslia, however, continues reassuring her. She diverts her attention, stating that she will also join her parents and sister after awakening her holy sword. She tells her that she will join her preschool next week, where she will start training. She further tells her about her sister, who will prepare her a dress, and her mother, who will bake her a pumpkin pie. Both of them are scared to death as they are talking about all this. There is a massive blast outside, and Ryslia cannot control herself. She starts shouting and attempts to leave the shelter so she can help her parents and sister. Regina somehow manages to stop her and calms her down. Ryslia swears that everything will be fine since her parents haven't lost a single battle. After some time, everything calms down and they leave the shelter, only to witness that everything has been destroyed and all holy swordsmen are dead. Ryslia apologizes for lying that everything will be fine as both of them cry their hearts out. In the present time, Ryslia, Regina, and Leonis are heading for the 7th Assault Garden. Leo gets shocked after seeing such a massive stronghold and inquires about it. Regina tells him that other than being a stronghold, this place is also the town where they live. Ryslia, on the other hand, promises to herself that she won't lie ever again. Upon reaching the assault garden, Leo asks some more questions related to the garden and its purpose. Regina tells him that this assault garden is basically a mega float which serves the purpose of traveling across the sea and destroying void colonies on the front lines. In the meanwhile, Ryslia informs the authorities regarding their mission details and about Leo. Regina gets shocks after finding out that Leo has awakened his holy sword. Ryslia reveals that Leo was the one who healed her in the dungeon, which further Regina, and she appreciates him. Ryslia then informs Leo that he will be living alongside them in the Excalibur Academy dorms. Leo can't comprehend what they are talking about and questions about it. Ryslia tells him that kids that awaken their holy swords are trained and groomed at the Excalibur Academy, and every kid with such abilities is obligated to enroll there. Regina then leaves them as she has to do some shopping. Ryslia tells Leo that he has to pass through a special entrance where they will examine him. As Leo gets some alone time, he loathes himself for getting stuck inside this human body. He then summons his old servants and lets them in on this situation. He orders them to investigate humanity's current military strength. Even his servants are shocked at his current state. Following this, Leo undergoes a series of examinations. He gets a bit uncomfortable with all this, but has no other option. He even has to conceal his mana after the alarm starts going off. He realizes that he has to be careful himself as well. After clearing the examination, he is granted an identification card, and Ryslia decides to hold on to it as she considers Leo a child. She also tells him that he has to undergo a holy sword test as well. Hearing this, Leo gets a bit concerned as he doesn't possess a holy sword and figures that he has to fool them. Ryslia then offers to give him a little tour of the Excalibur Academy before heading to the dorm. On their way to the academy, Leo gets shocked by the peaceful environment. Ryslia tells him that the 7th Assault Academy has always avoided any direct void invasion, so it is quite peaceful. After some time, they reach the academy and Ryslia gives him some basic information regarding it. Ryslia tells him everything about the facilities, dorms, and training stuff. As they are hanging around, Ryslia feels a bit dizzy and falls to her knees. Leo asks if she is alright, to which she replies positively. They continue their little stroll around the academy. Some girls notice Leo on their way and praise his cuteness. They even make some erotic comments about him which Leo fails to understand. Heading towards the dorm, they come across a weird guy named Musil Rhodes. Ryslia gets irritated after seeing him, which makes Leo realize that they are not friends. Musil starts mocking Ryslia for her wound and starts laughing. Ryslia attempts to leave, but he blocks their way and continues mocking her. He even mocks Leo, which angers him a little, but he lets it slide. Musil then offers Ryslia to join his platoon and become his pet, but she immediately refuses. With no other option, he grabs her hair and starts forcing her. This infuriates Leo and he decides to teach him a lesson. He utilizes his magic and forces Musil on his knees. He then threatens him to not touch Reincarnates' beautiful hair ever again. Musil stands up and activates his holy sword. In the meantime, another student Fine appears at the spot and reminds Musil that using holy swords in personal fights is prohibited. She also threatens to take a video if he resists. With no other option, Musil had to withdraw his whole sword and run away. Fine apologizes that Reincarnates had to put up with a jerk like him. Leo is also happy at this outcome since he wants to keep his abilities low-key. Fine introduces herself to Leo as a member of Celia's platoon who is in charge of data analysis. She also took his size for a uniform. Seeing Fine's holy sword, Leo gets shocked and realizes that there are multiple forms of holy sword and vary according to the person. Fine also apologized for not being able to join them for the mission as it took her longer to process some data. Hearing this, Reincarnates asks him questions about the data. Fine tells him that the sensors picked up some strange magical data and even after removing all the noise, they couldn't figure out what it was. As they are talking, Reincarnates feels a bit dizzy and decides to head back to her dorm. Upon arriving at the dorm, Leo notices that this dorm is quite old compared to others. Reincarnates tells him that the dorms are assigned according to ranks and their platoon is somewhat weak. He also notices that the rooms don't have locks, to which Reincarnates replies by stating that he is just a kid, so it doesn't matter. Reincarnates shows him her room and settles down on bed. She then takes off her stockings in front of Leo, which makes him blush and he turns away. She tells him where the bathroom is and that he should take a shower first. As Leo is taking off his clothes, Reincarnates asks him some questions. She asks if he can join their platoon after his enrollment into the academy. Before he could say anything, Leo sneezes, which makes Reincarnates realize that they should talk about this later. In the bathroom, Leo wonders what kind of magic they use to combine water and fire to create such warm water. He had never imagined controlling water's temperature for this purpose. He then picks up a soap and starts washing his hair. In the meantime, Reincarnates enters the shower and tells him that he should be using shampoo. Seeing her, Leo gets shocked and embarrassed. He cannot believe that Reincarnates entered the shower without hesitating. She then offers to help him take a shower and both of them settle down. As she is washing his hair, Reincarnates continues the conversation they were having before and tells him that multiple platoons will reach out to him and that he has free will to any of them. Compared to others, her platoon is quite weak and he has no reason to join them over others. Leo then questions her reason to put herself in danger despite possessing no holy sword. In response to this, Reincarnates tells him that she doesn't want to be protected, she wants to be the one fighting. Suddenly, she loses consciousness and falls to the ground. Seeing this, Leo reaches out to her thigh and activates the spell he had used to revive her. Reincarnates gets up and bites his neck to drink some blood. She cannot comprehend why she is doing all this. Leo, on the other hand, reveals that he was lying when he said he healed her using a holy sword. He tells her that he does not possess the power to revive the dead and that Reincarnates is dead. Why would he tell her all this? It makes no sense. There is a huge possibility that she will report him to the authorities or something like that. Anyways, I know you're curious and want to know what happens next. Make sure to like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on Leo's future endeavors.